Not everything you hear is real. At least, not when there's a layer of sound design. Like, that wasn't real. That wasn't real either. Now, those are just obvious examples, but what is sound design and what does it have to do with those weird noises just now? If you're not sure or don't know how to use it, then keep watching because this tutorial could be crucial for your next video. Now go open up the sound effects tab in PowerDirector or go download for free. So all of those noises you just heard are sound design. Sound design is the process of adding, you guessed it, sounds to your videos. It's an essential building block for any great video or movie and can range from sound effects to background music. But we'll get into the separate categories and how to use them in a bit. Sound design is foremost used to augment or exaggerate reality, which helps to create the mood in a video. Imagine watching a movie with no background music or sound effects. It would be incredibly dry, right? So even though in reality we might not necessarily hear certain sounds like the whoosh of the hair in the wind or the sparkle of refracting light, all of those sounds are essential when viewing something on screen. So today we're going to add some sound into this short clip using 5 different elements of sound design. The first one is ambiance. This is background noise that matches the scene, such as crickets chirping or a crow cawing in the night sky. In reality, perhaps this particular set doesn't have any crickets or crows, but by adding these in, they set the atmosphere of the scene and immerse the audience. So what we did here was go into the sound effects tab of PowerDirector and go down into environment and look for cricket sounds and crow sounds, then drag them onto our timeline. You can adjust the length by pulling the end of the audio clip. The second element is something called Foley Sounds. Foley Sounds reproduce or exaggerate noises you would normally hear in a scene. Sounds caught while filming can either be too quiet or so loud they distract viewers from whoever is speaking in the clip. Foley Sounds are inserted during post-production. So for big production, a Foley sound designer will record these sounds in their studio using creative methods, like rolling a cabbage against a table to mimic the sound of kneading clay as shown in this clip. Since we're doing this in the comfort of our homes, we can just use our sound effects library. So in our clip, we want to exaggerate the sound of crackling fire. So we can go into the environment tab again and look for sounds using keywords like fire and crackling. PowerDirector gives us a fairly large selection for fire, so we can just go in and look for one that best fits our clip, then drag and drop onto our timeline. The third sound design element is audio effects. Audio effects are sounds that aren't normally found in our world and are oftentimes computer generated. Something like a dinosaur's roar or the sound of an approaching UFO. So in our story, we have one of the campers being abducted by a UFO, so let's go in and add some audio effects sounds. In our sound effects window, we'll go into the sci-fi category and type in UFO to get that extraterrestrial sound. Then we can look for some extra sounds to fill out this sequence and immerse our audience. Let's go and look for some alien sounds to add. An extra tip here, if you can't find a sound effect in a certain category, you can search the entire library by simply clicking at the top of the sound effects menu and using the search there. So now that we've found our alien sounds, we can drag and drop onto our timeline, then rewatch our footage to make sure it looks right and sounds right. Our sound design doesn't end here. Our fourth element is the voiceover. Didn't think voiceovers were part of sound design, did you? So voiceovers can be used for multiple purposes depending on what sort of footage you're working with. We use voiceover a lot on this channel in order to simultaneously show you guys a tutorial while explaining what's going on screen. Voiceovers can also be used as a narration in a story or give additional context to express unspoken thoughts. Let's go in and add a voiceover to really tie our string of clips together. It was a calm, cool summer night on the campsite as the sun set. The campfire crackled and burned, creating some warmth for the campers. Sarah gazed at the fire and was slowly lulled to sleep by the calm night. Suddenly, a light appeared in the night sky. Riley looked up, startled to see that the light was right above the campsite. A panic set in as he recalled recent UFO sightings. But upon closer inspection, the flying light was just a drone. Once you've recorded your voiceover, all you have to do is upload it to PowerDirector as an audio file, then drag and drop it onto your timeline on a track different from your other sound effects. You can go in and trim and cut out unwanted pauses to match the length of your footage. You can also use the Restoration Assistant to adjust the quality of your voiceover without having to spend too much time adjusting it. Our final element to finish off our sound design is the background music. The music sets the tone and tells the audience how to feel during certain parts of the video. For example, for a tenser, more nervous tone, we can add in a tense string instrumental, and for an adventurous tone, we can use a fast-paced, exciting track. Now for our little demo video here, we can go into the background music drop-down menu, which provides us with Meta Music Library, and look for a more calming track to put in the first half, then switch to something tenser for the second half. If we want to adjust the finer details of any elements of the sound design like the volume and speed, we can go and select the specific audio clip we want to adjust and then click Edit. It was a calm, cool summer night on the campsite as the sun set. The campfire crackled and burned, creating some warmth for the campers. Sarah gazed at the fire and was slowly lulled to sleep by the calm night. Suddenly, a light appeared in the night sky. Riley looked up, startled to see that the light was right above the campsite. A panic set in as he recalled recent UFO sightings, but upon closer inspection, the flying light was just a drone. Alright guys, hope that was helpful for your next project. Remember to subscribe to our channel because we release helpful content every 1 or 2 weeks and you don't want to miss out. See you in our next video!